Hi everyone, my name is Daniel and welcome to the second episode in a series looking at articles. Last time we looked at the use of a and an, and today we're going to be looking at no article. This video is going to be a bit longer than the one about a and an, as there are quite a few more rules for us to look at. So with that said, let's start. Firstly, we don't use an article when we want to refer to a group in general. For example, tourists are destroying our city. All tourists. Eating vegetables is important for our health. All vegetables. If the noun is abstract, then we use no article to talk about this noun in general. For example, because of the war, we live in fear. Fear in general. Government and religious buildings do not use an article if we talk about their purpose and not about the physical place. Examples of this are church, hospital, prison, synagogue, and school. For example, I went to church on Sunday. This means you went to church to pray or to worship. My youngest daughter goes to school. This means she goes there to study. If we talk about the physical place, then we use a or the depending on the context. For example, I went to the church on Tarasa Shevchenko Boulevard. Is there a school near here? When we use a proper name, we don't use an article. For example, have you met Mr. Jones? Almost all countries do not take an article in English. For example, he is from Ukraine. There are two rules for when we need to use an article with countries. The first rule is if part of the name of the country is plural. For example, the United States of America, the Philippines, the Netherlands, and so on. The second rule is if there is a political word in the name of the country. For example, we say the Russian Federation, the Czech Republic, the United Kingdom. The words federation, republic, and kingdom all have political connotations. There are two possible exceptions to this rule. Some people say the Vatican City and not Vatican City, and some say the Gambia and not Gambia. In everyday English, both are acceptable. Mountains and lakes in English never take an article. For example, I went to Lake Baikal last year. Hoverla is the highest mountain in Ukraine. Almost all cities do not take an article in English. There is one exception, The Hague. Similarly, almost all streets do not take an article. Any street, village, town, or city in Ukraine does not take an article. All substances, gases, and liquids do not take an article. For example, helium is lighter than air. We need to drink water to live. In addition, materials which describe what something is made of do not take an article. For example, this sweatshirt is made of wool. That house is made of wood. When we describe someone's role in the areas of politics and business, we don't normally use an article. For example, he left his job as CEO after 25 years. Zelensky became president of Ukraine in 2019. When we describe time or seasons, we also don't use an article. For example, the countryside is very quiet at night. We're planning to go to the Carpathians in spring. There are 2 points to note here. First, it is possible to use the with seasons, but usually we prefer not to use it. Secondly, if you talk about a part of the day, we need the article the. E.g., I'm going to the shops in the afternoon. Using an article with Mealtimes is one of the most common mistakes of Ukrainian and Russian native speakers. In almost all cases, it is incorrect to use an article with meals. For example, have you had breakfast yet? Sports never take an article. For example, I play tennis really badly. Almost all illnesses don't take an article in English. For example, he has mumps. Sometimes you will hear native speakers using the article the with illnesses, but almost always it will be a mistake. The only common illnesses which usually need an article are a cold and the flu. So we'll leave it there for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. Please do leave a like if you did, it really helps the channel. And other than that, I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.